Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC comic review. And before I get started, I'd like you to, have a look at the thumbnail and point out the error that I did wrong. Another thing that I'll have you point out in the comment section is what comics are in what parts. Will this be a part of part 1 that goes up, or will it be a part of part 2? Just for some, subscriber interaction. So now it's time to move into the next thing, and that is the comics that will be reviewed. And sure enough, we have Superman 78, issue 5 of 6. And of course, I had to get it because it had 3 sevens in the title, or 3 sevens in the issue. And not only that, the cover also stood out to me when I saw it in the solicitations. And it's why I requested it from my RCS. And yes, it is the Flash issue 777. And by what I have been hearing of this particular run, before it gets taken over in relation to the crossover, before Fingo takes it over, Robbie Thompson, I think it is that this run has been really good so far and really respectful to the character of Wally West. Well, it's time to begin the first comic review out of these, and that will be Superman 78. So starting off with first things first, as you know, I enjoy rating the covers for these stories. So, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough, it does. As in the last issue of Superman 78, we had Brainiac decide to, pick up and remove Metropolis and bottle the blasted thing, because someone sent a signal through. But we soon learn to realize how this signal will be used to help bring Superman out. So for this, I gave the cover a 7 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant. I'll now show some of the internal art around the beginning, middle and the end. And then I'll give the art rating followed by the story rating of how I rate my stories. So, Chapter 5 begins, and of course, Metropolis is going to be bottled up, care of Brainiac. And of course, we can see him in the picture, and we're on, of course, Brainiac's ship. We also move into the bottled city of Kandor, to which we see Superman, Kal-El and Lara. I'll now move to the middle. As we move to the middle of the story, we see Superman finally escaping bottled Kandor. And last but not least, Brainiac being put on his ass. Now to jump towards the end, jumping onto the last page here. And as we can see here, we have Brainiac, who has taken up one of his suits to which he can take on Superman. And I must admit, this suit a little bit reminds me a little bit like one of the Robocops from Robocop. One of the machines that was made in it. Not fully, but very similar to. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time for the story rating, which consists of references. Were there any comic book references to any previous issues of the story? And does it affect the story of how this story went? Of course, time. When does it take place time-wise? Location, and last but not least, the cast of characters. So moving in the first things first, did we get any comic references? No, we didn't. Did we get any time references of when this was happening throughout the day? No, we didn't. Did they really affect the storyline or affect the story rating? Not a lot, but I think I somewhat enjoyed this a little bit more than a couple of the previous. The locations we got were Metropolis, Bottled Candle, and Brainiac's ship. The cast of characters being made up of Jor-El, Lara, Kal-El, who is Superman, of course, Lex Luthor, Jimmy Olsen. We, of course, had Perry White and Lois Lane. And as things were happening throughout this story, we soon learn and realize that the signal that was sent through in the last issue was also used to help Superman escape. Care of Lex Luthor helping the House of El in its own way. So for it, I gave this story a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to jump into the Flash issue 777. So now it's time to jump into the Flash issue 777. Starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Yes, it does, to which I gave the cover a 7 out of 10. I'll now show you some of the art around the beginning, middle and end, as well as cover some of the things that are happening in the story. So here is some of the art around the beginning, and as you can see here, we've got the Flash on Gemworld with the Justice League Dark characters, and at the moment they're sort of working on a prison escape. I'll now jump towards the middle. Now jumping around the middle here, we've got Jay and Irie, and this is something that's happening with the Wally West household. And of course we've got Jay getting very busy in his journaling and chores that he wants to get covered. I thought this was really enjoyable, and I must admit I really like the art in this. I'm thinking I might pick up the trade paperback to this when it comes out. Now it's time to jump towards the end. And as we jump towards the end of the story, we've got the Flash with Amethyst and all of Justice League Dark with him, and we've even got Etrigan, Dr. Fate, and a couple of other characters in there. Wouldn't it be interesting if Justice League Dark had Mr. Miracle on it? Just a thought. And of course, towards the end of the story, where Jay catches, Irie doing something with a friend. For the internal art for this, I decided to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm now going to jump to the story and, of course, how I rate the story. First things first, did we get any comic references in regards to any previous comics that might be important to this present story? No, we didn't, but did it affect the rating? Not that much. Time? No, we didn't get it, but it wouldn't have hurt to included it. Like for some of the things, like maybe time for what it might be in Gemworld, time to where it is on Earth. The locations, even though they weren't marked out, I wasn't too worried about it, seeing that this was pretty much first time jumping into a bit of a Flash comic, considering how much Flash has been through recently, including for the future state. That madness. Of course, we've got the Wally West household, Gemworld, and of course the school, which we got to see. The cast of characters consisting of Wally West as the Flash, Justice League Dark with Amethyst, of course Wally West's family consisting of Jay and Irie as well. Overall, I gave this story a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, I want to get the trade paperback for this. So until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.